The Flex Mod is so great because of the fact that students are able to take more classes, and that's really helped the Family and Consumer Science Department because we have a higher enrollment, and that's giving students more exposure to different skills in our various areas, whether it be in the culinary field or the healthcare field or design, child development. They're able to really explore those careers in a greater capacity.
With the Flex Mod, I have been able to have students do a lot more hands-on training, as well as I've been able to get them out of the classroom on more field trips. Because with the Flex Mod, we have the varying amount of times that they may be in class, as well as they have their own time part, which we call PLT, where they can do some more of the lecture-based material or video-based material so that in class we can be more hands-on rather than taking up class time to do those types of things.
So I have never taught in anything but Flex Mod. I came in as an intern into the Flex Mod. It was their first year. But I really think that the Flex Mod is great. It allows students to hone in on what they are interested in. If they're interested in taking child development but they have a history class, they're able to work through both of those and have maybe some of those course conflicts but still get both of the materials in.
I think the Flex Mod is amazing because of it's in the name, it's so flexible. It allows me to tailor my classes in a way that I can meet students' needs. I can help them throughout the week in different facets because of the fact that I'm available during the day. I am able to have shorter periods where I can get them reviews and information. Large lecture allows me to give them a lot of the notes that we can practice then in a lab the following day. So it's not the same day every day where it's cookie cutter. It's the ability to kind of break up the week and give material in different ways for the students.
So for the Flex Mod in what I do, it has really allowed me to be in large group settings so I can teach 90 kids a tech tool, a workflow. In the past, I wouldn't be able to meet every single person's needs as far as going into their classrooms.
It's changed how we instructed and gotten us out of that traditional mindset of lecture, demo, lab. We're able to give an awful lot of stuff to guys and gals outside of the classroom or the traditional, 2-hour block, 1-hour block, whatever. With both Canvas and our Flex Mod, it allows people to do stuff at home. It allows flexibility as to where you learn best, who you learn with best. It's allowed us to get real intimate with our small groups, and then also real large with our larger groups, and give the large group stuff, the blunt information that you have to do, and then whittle it down to that small group piece. It's been very nice for us.
As far as the teaching model goes, much more individualized to students. So we've minimized how much time we have to see kids in class, so the stuff we do in class becomes much more important. There might have been projects before that I liked to do, but they weren't critical to student learning, that we kind of had to shelve those things. So we said, what's really important here? Now, the trade-off for us is we get more one-on-one time with kids. So I meet with all my kids usually once every 3 weeks, and really we get to go through papers one-on-one, and we really get to talk about writing.
The Flex Mod is great because almost on a daily basis it forces you to consider what's best for students, what material do we sort of really need to get through, and what material is going to help propel them along in their career goals. And the Flex Mod causes you to sort of rethink timing and how much time do you have, and what can you get through, and what's most valuable for the students to get through. So I think that's been the best, kind of the greatest feature of the Flex Mod.
The Flex Mod has allowed me to embrace the various teaching areas of my job as an agri-science teacher. I can have a single mod with a small group of students with their hands on something that is in a small space in one of our laboratories, whether it's a plant lab, an animal lab, or a foods lab. It has also allowed us to embrace outdoor classrooms where we have 3 or 4 mods to take a whole group of students out and see something happen from beginning to end. Today, on this beautiful day in spring before a snowstorm arrives at the end of the week, we have students in our aquaculture class that are at our school pond, and they are pulling and setting pike nets to do wildlife surveys on the fish populations that we have inside of that pond. Students will see a variety of fish. They'll be able to identify and actually hold and handle these fish. It's hands-on experiences like these that would not be passable in a regular 52 or 45-minute class. These students are able to become completely immersed, hopefully not in water, in the subject that they're learning.
The FlexMod provides students an opportunity to, I guess, take some ownership for their learning. It provides them flexibility within their school day to really maximize their free time or open time within the schedule. Here, teaching art allows students to come in for open studio time and take advantage of needing some extra time on their projects, or if they want to spend more time on their projects. And every day is different. I think in regards to changing my teaching approach, I love the variety that the FlexMod offers. Not every day is the same in regards to the schedule, so every day is new, every day is fresh. As a teacher, as we transitioned into the FlexMod, when was the last time you heard a student say, oh my gosh, I love my Thursdays or I love my Fridays, because maybe it's a little lighter or maybe it's the courses that they really like that day. And in regards to teaching or changing my teaching, being able to phase our courses differently. So here in art we have studio time, and that would be what you'd consider a regular class time. And then we have small groups where we meet with students and do critiques, and it's a shortened period of time, but it's structured much differently than our studio time.
In terms of the teaching schedule, our schedule hasn't changed much with the FlexMod. The kids still have basically an hour class, which would be 2 30-minute mods. But the beauty of the FlexMod has been what we call the PLT process, where in this particular weight room and fitness center, kids get to come in during their PLTs and either get workouts in, do makeups, and that's been really a nice advantage of the schedule.
So when most people talk about the FlexMod here at Pulaski, they wonder, well, how does it affect our athletes? You know, usually we talk about how it affects academia. But our athletes really have a benefit to the FlexMod, because what happens is in the FlexMod, they're able to negotiate their schedules in such a way that they could, for example, take most of their classes in the morning and have personal learning time in the afternoon, and therefore when they leave for athletic events, they don't miss the big learning times.
I think if we do it right, it's really good for students because of the ability to meet their needs. I think that's really what it comes down to. We're preparing them for the next level. So if it's in the workforce or if it's in college, this is where they're going to have to be at some point. We need to teach them more responsibility. I think in this day and age, we hold kids' hands way too much. And I think this allows them to start recognizing where they fall short and where they excel in that. And we don't leave them behind, but kids that start to learn how to work with that higher level of responsibility, I think they are going to be way ahead of their competition and other people in the future when they get out of high school because of the FlexMod.
So I talked before about how, you know, back in the day we remember school being one way. And I know when I talk to parents all the time about their students, they remember school as they had it. And I would just tell them school's not that way anymore. It's so important that they understand that schools nowadays really try to stress that each kid is unique and each kid is different. We really go out of our way, especially in the FlexMod, to make learning specialized for each student. And so I would say give it a chance, give it that opportunity, because it is different and it'll take you a good week or so to get used to it.